Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
I am SP Dafe Bright and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before. Not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, by the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack, because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say a stitch in time save nine. It's very, very important. Make haste when the sun shine, not be to come. You don't have to start running and start saying, oh, what do I do? What do I do? When you can prevent it. Let's not forget, prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love, it is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Ruth Gender Foundation.
I'm Ruth Edema Collins. I hold a first degree in physics electronics, a postgraduate qualification in business administration, and a nationally certified French language tutor. Career-wise, I'm an educational facilitator. I'm the managing director at Atlantic Media and TV, and I'm also a director at Vocotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited. I'm a wife and a mother, and I like dressing up to show up. Yeah, so that's basically me. Thank you. Root Gender Foundation was inspired from my personal experiences growing up as a young girl in a typical Nigerian environment. For me, it was being different. It made people bully me, abuse me, and harass me. I was always misunderstood and underrated. Root Gender is a foundation that is dedicated to building confidence in the Nigerian girl child through educational and inspirational programs, like supporting programs that promote girl child education. We also organize physical exercises for our young girls for the overall well-being of their mental and physical states, and also for the acquisition of self-defense skills. We also sensitize girls on laws that protect them. In our constitution, a lot of girls do not know that they have rights, that there are laws that protect their interests in Nigeria. Hence, they are vulnerable, they are living in fear, which is stopping them from reaching their full potentials. So we sensitize them on the laws that protect their interests. This, like I said, is visioned towards building confidence in the Nigerian girl child. So that is just a wrap up of what we do at Root Gender Foundation. I would say I resonate with the struggles and the challenges of the girl child, particularly the Warri girl child. I happen to grow up in the heart of Warri. I'm from an average background. My family is an average one, but I experienced a lot. Like I said, I was bullied, I was overlooked, I was harassed for being a different child, for daring to be different, and nobody was taking note and tapping into my potentials. So my interest for the girl child is I would love to be a voice for the girl child. They need people to believe in them. They need people to speak for them. I also want the Warri girl child to know that there is hope beyond the reef. I want them to see the bigger picture. I want them to know that they can compete on global platforms. They can compete on international platforms, and they can do very well. We have the likes of Ada Gold, or Maumi, and the rest of them. They are all competing very well on international platforms, and I know that you too can do that, and I want you to know that is why we are here. Root Gender Foundation is here to make you understand that you can actually be what you want to be. As part of our objectives at Root Gender Foundation, we are dedicated to promoting girl-child education. Like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. I represent the brand the African Girl Child because I have gone through the struggles from there to here. So giving 2 million to the best female participants is just a way to share them on. It's just a way to make them know that we believe in you. I believe in you. You can look up to us. We are sharing you on. It is not about the money. We believe in your potential. We want our girls to know that you are doing the right thing at the right time. You are in the right place, and this is what you should be doing. That's why we are supporting you, and we will always be here to support you. Girl-child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect our girl child. You know, my NGO, we've been pursuing a bill that we will see to be passed. We are asking that our girls should be allowed to carry pepper spray as weapons of self-defense. Because if you look at it, our women have nothing to protect themselves. They are just there by the grace of God. So we are pursuing laws that will protect the girl child. So empowerment, girl child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect the girl child, educating the girl child on time and money management, financial literacy, and equipping them with self-defense skills. Also, access to quality education. This to me is girl child empowerment and nothing more. A girl child must possess effective communication skills. They should be able to communicate effectively. A girl child should be financially literate. She should know how to manage her finances, and she should also know how to manage her time. Yes. Also, most importantly, another skill is self-awareness. It's important for our girls to know who they are, to believe in themselves. That's the vision of our NGO, building confident girls that can achieve their full potentials in Nigeria. That is our NGO's vision. So yeah, those are some of the skills I believe that the girl child should possess. She needs role models. She needs people that have dared that path and have made it. Our young girls need role models. That's why we have to do better. We have to do the work. We have to bridge the gap. We have to share them on like we are doing. You can achieve your dreams. First, you have to make education your best friend. Every effort you put into learning will always be there for you to never fail you. Boys will break your heart, people will break your heart, but every effort you put towards learning anything, everything will always come through for you. So for you to achieve your dreams, look towards the right people, look towards the right direction. There are people that have achieved in that route. I will encourage you to look up to them, learn from them. That is just the way to achieve your dreams. My message to the Warri child, like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. We are letting the world know that we are not vile, we are not roused, we are educated, we compete intellectually, we have good things ahead of us. We can do it on the global platform. We can do it on the national platform. And we are everything there is to be a woman. I would encourage you, Warri girl child, make education your best friend. Make education your best friend. Learn new things. Learn new languages. Okay? And the sky will be your starting point. We are always here to cheer you up. Don't forget that my name is Ruth Edema Collins from Root Gender Foundation, and from all of us wishing you the best, we say keep watching Atlantic TV.
Ruth Gender Foundation. When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together, we can end it. Together, we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, also one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor AD.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
As you know, you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere or I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom. Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Hi everybody and welcome to Wawu Africa. This is the official launching and it's your host QJ and Shay. And we are so excited to be here, guys. This is a brand new app, girl, for women, Christocentric women.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. My expectations are through the roof. We have amazing guests here today, so stay tuned.
And we're gonna be back.
Yeah, we will be back.
That seeks to bridge the gap between opportunity and access. A movement that believes in the transformative power of women's economic empowerment. Our mission is simple, yet ambitious, to provide a safe, inclusive and supportive environment, a safe, inclusive space where women can learn, earn, collaborate and thrive, where they can showcase their skills, share their stories and sell their products and services.
Every day I create, but no one sees me. Until now. Introducing Wow Africa. Learn, showcase, connect, earn. Now, the world sees my worth and pays for it. Wow Africa, where women rise.
Okay, so the inspiration behind Wow Africa, it stems from women being dealt the lower hand, if I may put it that way. Because in corporate worlds, we see that men always get the better pay, they always get better roles, and if there is a woman in a good position, it is assumed that she did something to get that position. So we're trying to change that narrative where we are saying, look, women are not just meant for the kitchen. Women need to earn more as well. Women need to be heard. Women need to be seen for what they can do, for their skills, not just as some sexual object or some sexual toy, because that is one of the things that has been, or the major thing that has been tied to when you say I'm a woman. That is one thing that people see first. So we're trying to change that narrative. We want women to be out there doing big things just like our male counterparts are doing and not being dependent. We're trying to change that narrative of women are always so dependent on men. We want to be independent, not like we want to just do everything on our own, but we want to be able to stand as women in our various industries, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as an artisan, a content creator, whatever it is that you are. We want women to stand out there.
I think it's a beautiful and a fantastic phenomenon initiative that I think can metamorphose into things like skill acquisition for women, safe place for women training, etiquette for women, empowering women. We call it a man's world. I call it a gentleman's world because the gentleman puts the woman first. Yes. And so I think this is a phenomenal idea. If everyone has a sister, mother, a daughter, one of them, sister, mother, a daughter. So it's high time we started investing in the women and make this world a better place, a safer place for them. I'm thinking of a WOW counseling, for WOW rehabilitation, for drug addiction for women. I think it's something that is really huge that will begin to make. There are too many layers on what to do to make the world safe and safer for women. And so I believe that this is the beginning of the best days of this thing we just launched today. And so hoping for more.
Why did you decide to support our Africa? What does it mean to you as a woman?
It means everything. I am a woman first, and personally, I am a strong advocate for the girl child and for women affairs. So anything women, supporting them, lifting them, you'll find me there. So, but as per this, my media outfits, we are very proud to give them the visibility that they need to reach their targets and where they wish to go, and give them every other support that they need to reach the women that we hope to reach. Women need to learn. It is a basic skill that they must have. They must learn, they must earn, they must grow, and they must learn to collaborate. That's why we are here. I have met some amazing women here. She leads Africa. She's here too. So it is amazing when women support each other. We attain amazing heights. So we cannot overlook the importance of collaborating with other people, other women like us. It is very, very, very important.
Here at Wawu Africa, it's an app that supports women. So what are your views on it?
In fact, it's a great idea because it will help women to be able to showcase their businesses. They don't need to like online businesses now. They can have a space to put in their businesses and make, sell their products easily now for export. My expectations are really high. I've worked with the owner, the person in charge for a while, and I know he's a very brilliant mind, and he has ideas, and this is one of them which has come to fruition. So my expectations are really high. It's a platform to help women be empowered, help women earn, help women scale up, and that aligns with the value of She Leads Africa. That's why we're here partnering with them, encouraging them, and saying we're here, we're hailing you, we're behind you. We pray and hope that you scale, right, and achieve all your dreams.
Wawu Africa, where women rise.
So it has been an amazing experience, hasn't it? Oh my gosh, we have so many expectations from Wawu Africa, and it has been great vibing with you guys. It's your host QJ and Chi. Until next time, stay tuned.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together, we can end it. Together, we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
I am SP Dafe Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before. Not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, by the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason, your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack, because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that, we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say a stitch in time save 9. It's very, very important. Make haste when the sun shines. Not be to come. You don't have to start running and start saying, what do I do? What do I do? When you can prevent it. Let's not forget, prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Well, the United States of America has now said definitely they'll be banning those persons that are perceived to be corrupt in every way. and especially Nigerian politicians. But the question still remains, will that in every way deal with the issue of corruption, and will other countries follow suit and see how they can help curb corruption on the biggest and largest country on the continent? Well, it's a question. But the question we'll be asking later, but for now I want to quickly welcome you to another lovely time on TV. Is a Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. My name is Mike Egobadia.
And I am Mercy Erabo. Welcome to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. And you know how we do it right here on Viewpoint. We start with the dailies, to the dialogue, the news, and of course, the trending. You can see the smiles. Yes, it's Friday's edition of Viewpoint and Friday's edition of Trending. And you know how we do it right on Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Of course, you know you can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, we'll go on this quick break, and when we return, the dailies will be next.
All right, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, also one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back at yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor AD.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife Naija Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom. Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Well, yes, it's now time we go straight to the papers and see what they have for us this lovely Friday morning. Well, anyway, I know somebody will always shout, thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Well, you heard her loud and clear right there. But anyway, for review today, we have 5 papers as usual. We have The Punch, The Vanguard, The Nation, These Day, and The Guardian is also right here on the tables on paper review on Atlantic TV. But you always know I enjoy starting with a punch. Seems to give you a puncher and wake you up on this lovely wet Friday morning. And on the punch this morning, the leading story reads, Coalition demands Atiku Obi full membership. And we're talking about the 2027 presidency. As APC orders push back as coalition direct members to abandon party for the ADC. But I'll tell you not to abandon that story. Just go grab a copy of The Punch and read all of that up on page 2. Let's see if we take some other major stories just at the top of my side of The Punch. Niger Delta militancy made Jonathan presidency possible. Well, Tom seems to be saying that on page 15. Southeast governors pushing for Nnamdi Kalu's release, says Governor of Abia State, Uti, also on page 15. But what you get on a separate page, and that's page 51, is 804 billion naira arms import. Ignite calls for local production. And I just hope that is a reality. And let's see how we can start producing our own light arms and see how we can even export. But anyway, don't export that, but just read more of it on page 51 of The Punch. INEC gears up for off-cycle polls, promotes 471 officers. Is another major one on page 7. But let's see if we take some other stories, if there are any, beneath the picture of the day. And while you can see that, well, let's just see if we take this. And it's all about the Olubadan. And we're talking about Ladoja as he ascends Olubadan throne. Inside Ladoja, 32-year journey to the throne. Makinde cut short annual leave for coronation. Tinubu top dignitaries to attend historic ceremony. Once governor, now monarch. Ladoja royal story. While Ladoja emergence was rancor-free, Balogun designates Olubadan unique succession system. But anyway, a system you really get more on page 19, 20, 21, 32, and also 38 of the Punch. But let's take other major ones. Marketers fought Dangote 500,000 liter fuel delivery threshold. It's a major one on page 44. And the question is, when will they stop the back and forth? But anyway, we're not having fault on that, but the fault him, and you can just go grab a copy of the Punch and page 44 as a story. 6 hospitalized as Lagos sales collapse 2-story building. It's a very sad one on page 4 and 5. And the question is, when are we going to have a stop of all of this? Well, anyway, we're not stopping there yet. But let's see if we take one also last story right there. And oven fire forces Delta Lagos Atlanta flight diversion. And you can just get more of that copy or story on page 52. But that's the much you can take from the Punch this morning.
Let's see what the Nation has for us this morning. The lead story reads, experts, economists, worst times of reforms, pains over. And the writer says manufacturing has stabilized, gains begin to reach average Nigerians. Well, you can read more of that story on page 2 of the paper. Just at the top of the lead story, contractors yet to buy into a concrete road policy. That's on page 4. NUPRC okays a Total Energies deal. That's on page 7. Right at the top mass, Ibadan stands still for Ladoja's coronation as a 44th monarch. That's on page 3 of the paper. Edo secures $250 million investment at Glasgow Summit. That's on page 28 of the paper. Amcor sells a 34% stake in Unity Bank to Providus Bank. And that's on page 7 of the paper. Let's see what we have at the bottom mass. Defense headquarters, 147 terrorists arrested, dozens killed. And the writer says 41 kidnapped victims rescued. You can read more of that story on page 2 of the paper. Barau Ganduje, other step-up plan to displace NNPP in Kano. That's on page 3 of the paper. Still at the bottom, as 3 children found dead in father's car booth. That's a really sad one. It's on page 3 of the paper. Tinted glass, Inspector General warns against extortion. Yeah, you know, so many people are just opportunists. They might just use this to extort from the Nigerians. Well, you can read more of that story on page 4 of the paper. And the picture of the day, that is the decoration ceremony of the new Deputy Comptroller General in Abuja yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on The Nation. Let's see what The Guardian has for us. Nigeria not broke, but deep fiscal concerns leaguer. That's the lead story. And you can read more of that on page 4 and 5 of The Guardian newspaper. Yes, right at the top mass. 2027, ADC leaders scramble to fix deep rifts as opposition coalition nears collapse. That's on page 6 of the paper. Over 6,000 lives lost to religious ethnic conflict, says Plateau governor. That's on page 29 of the paper. 2027, Ganduje Jibrin orders vow to retake Kano for Tinubu. That's on page 3 of the paper. Right at the side mass, from politics to palace, Ladoje's odyssey to Olubadan throne. Well, that's big story on page 22 of the paper. New study links poverty, transport woes to worsening health in Lagos. That's on page 27 of the paper. The bottom mass, blackouts averted as electricity workers suspend strike. Okay, I think we noticed this yesterday. Well, that's on page 3 of the paper. And the picture of the day. Well, that's still talking about the decoration ceremony of the new Deputy Comptroller General in Abuja yesterday. That's all we're taking this morning on The Guardian. Let's see what this day has for us today. The lead story reads, World Bank backs federal government's groundbreaking World Initiative. And the rider says Bagudu moves to boost rural economy. CBN supports expansion with new MPR. Well, you can read more of that story on page 9 of the paper. Jonathan begins consultations ahead of 2027, meets David Mark and other ADC leaders. And the rider says opposition party tells undecided members to quit their parties now, denies association with ADA. Well, that story is on page 9 of the paper. Let's see what we have at the top mass. NUPRC approves Total Energies $510 million oil asset sales deal with Shell and Ajib. And the rider says agreement still subject to ministerial consent. Commission clarifies cancellation of Total Chapal deal. Bobiri urges global investors to tap fresh prospects in Nigeria's oil sector. Well, you can read more of that story on page 9 of the paper. Yeah, the picture of the day, that's about the Kano APC stakeholders meeting held in Abuja yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on this day. Up next is the Vanguard.
Well, yes, the Vanguard will be the last paper for us to quickly look at today, as we'll look through the papers. And on the Vanguard this morning, why our party dogged voters' registration in Southeast and South-South. Well, it's a major one, and we have a whole lot of riders to follow that very story. And let me just see if I'll take some few of them. And well, it says both zones record 50,881 physical registrations, less than Osun, 83,284. Southwest, Northwest lead, North-South record mixed fortunes as North leads in pre-registration, South tops in physical registration, and well, another major one is waiting for last minute. Mistrust responsible for apathy says Afenifere, INEC should make exercise less cumbersome, and this is according to Pandef. And don't be complacent, or rather, don't be a part of it. APC urges citizens why we are not interested. Southeast residents and Yaga Africa, other CSO, MBF speak. But anyway, I'll just tell you to, rather than talk, read more on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see if we take some other lady stories at the top mass side. Debt Management Office offers 200 billion naira federal government bonds for subscription. It's a major one on page 19. Nigeria attract the 19.92 billion United States dollars investment signals in second quarter of 2025. Wow. Sharing news, you say. Also on page 19. Tinubu promotes 52,000 paramilitary officers in 2 years. This according to the Interior Minister on page 8. Mossab orders reject Tinubu oil resumption in Ogoni land. I remember the report was given to him just this week, and I talked about resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land after the cleanup. But anyway, page 12 have more of that story. Read up and you get all of it. Let's quickly go to the bottom side of the Vanguard. Traders lament as Lagos government demolishes 19 building at Trade Fair Plaza. I watched the viral video of that and it was really painful to see. But get more of it on page 7. Excitement in Ibadan as Ladoja ascends throne today. And today indeed Ibadan seems to be our god, but I'll tell you to get more on page 8. But what's a bit of a worry is 2026 World Cup qualifier. More worries for Chile as Onyedika suffers injury. And all of that injury woes you get on page 37. Blackout averted as electricity workers shelve strike after federal government's intervention. And such lovely intervention is what we want to see on page 9. ADC to members, quit other parties now. It's a directive on page 8. But the picture of the day is more like a graphical representation of the voters' registration, how the zones have fared in the last 5 weeks since the commencement of online and physical registration, especially as it concerns the voters' registration card in preparation to the 2027 general elections. Well, anyway, that's the much you can take from the papers. And I will always implore you that if you have any that you feel you need to also read up and get more juicy gist as it concerns what's happening there. But what seems to be happening and taking center stage on almost all the dailies today is the major one that really concerns the excitement that will be taking place in Ibadan. And we're talking about the Oyo State capital with a former governor, Ladoja, ascending the throne as the new Oli Ibadan. And well, we thank God we had no issue, or issues were not there in his plan of succession, and he was quickly picked, and everything seems to be ready for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other dignitaries also to be like there in about Ibadan. Well, Messi, I would have loved to bring you in on this, but anyway, it's all celebration that we will not witness ourselves firsthand because
Speak for yourself.
Well, don't mind. Messi will not go and leave
flight immediately after this.
We believe you. We'll believe you.
Because I really want to be there.
Okay.
Because I really need him to tell me the story. This is grace.
Okay.
I need to tap from
He has enjoyed it as a governor. Now he's a monarch that will be there till whenever.
It's something that it's worth celebrating. So I have to be there. I don't know about you. I need to be there. So I need to quickly finish this off so that I'll go.
Well, anyways, another major screamer on the front pages of the dailies this morning is the issue of the ADC telling those that are indeed ready to be a part of the coalition to indeed dump their parties and come on board for them to be a more stronger, united front. And that seems to be taking center stage as the APC also is trying to see how they can woo others, especially in Kano, with Gandoje saying that he will do more to secure lovely votes for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the end of the day, come 2027. Well, it's all politicking. We still have many months to go, but it looks as if everything is now taking shape as it concerns what the opposition are, or who the opposition are, and what the ruling party intentions are, especially as we walk towards 2027.
Yes, it is. And then it's not even election yet. And somehow I think some of them are already campaigning. Wow, that's okay, I saw this video of Opewolo in what country for the Glasgow. I saw it on the headline.
Scotland.
So he went there. It was supposed to be a business meeting,
summit,
and all of that. Next thing he started talking about, I promised Tinubu 2 million votes, and I need you all to call your family, call your friends back there in Nigeria and tell them to vote. I already promised him 2 million votes. And I was like, is this supposed to be a campaign? Like, it's not yet time for campaign, so it's not supposed to be a campaign. So I feel what most of these people are doing is they're just trying to tag a particular program and using it to campaign.
As a springboard.
Yes, to draw attention to their party. And I don't know, but I really want this 2027 election to be free and fair. And the ADC trying to call other members to their party. I don't know what to say about that, because I really do not think anybody from these strong political parties might want to decamp to ADC. So I really do not see that happening anyways.
Well, anyway, what we have seen happening is the issue of consultation, especially as it concerns former President Goodluck Jonathan, and consulting while to see whether he will come to 2027. Well, everybody seems to have their own reaction and view as it concerns his consultation, with many telling him not to just bother to contest, knowing that it will be more of an uphill task to remove the incumbent, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But, well, he still has his own political and human right to also go around consulting to see if he will be part of it. But the questions still remain. Where would he vie? Would he be on the PDP platform or the ADC that's already having heavy weights like Atiku and Peter Obi also shooting their shots right there? Well, I would have loved to drag you in on this, but, you know, our views are always we're more like the devil's advocate. Our views are not always the right what we need, but always we would love to ask the question. But I'd love to ask this question. Do you see Jonathan finally pushing himself forward to be a part of the 2027 elections?
I don't know.
Heavy sign.
I do not
Heavy
know,
sign.
like sincerely, because at a time they thought he might not be able to come back because they feel he has served about how many years?
Yeah, 2 terms.
Because 2 terms. Because when he was vice president, he
president,
became
and assumed
acting
office, yeah.
president and all of that. So they feel he might not be able to come back, but gladly they said he can actually come back. But now we are still yet to know his plans, if he's coming or he's not coming. And we actually saw his wife telling us that he is not coming back. So I do not know his plans. And talking about parties, I don't see him going to ADC, except he really wants to, maybe either PDP or he wants to form his own political party, because I do not see him, like, he doesn't really have a chance. He doesn't stand a chance in ADC, because we already have the likes of Atiku and Peter Obi. We do not even know the presidential candidates for that party yet, and these are two strong political actors. So I don't really see him going to ADC. He doesn't stand a chance.
Well, anyway, whether he goes or not, we do know he's still consulting, and maybe he will just fly his trade on the party that brought him the presidency then, and we're talking about the PDP. Only time will tell. But what I need to tell you now is we'll go on a break now, and when we come back, dialogue will be next right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make her a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor Edi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere or I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom. Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Ruth Gender Foundation.
I'm Ruth Edema Collins. I hold a first degree in physics electronics, a postgraduate qualification in business administration, and a nationally certified French language tutor. Career-wise, I'm an educational facilitator. I'm the managing director at Atlantic Media and TV, and I'm also a director at Rukotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited. I'm a wife and a mother, and I like dressing up to show up. Yeah, so that's basically me. Thank you. Root Gender Foundation was inspired from my personal experiences growing up as a young girl in a typical Nigerian environment. For me, it was being different. It's made people bully me, abuse me, and harass me. I was always misunderstood and underrated. Root Gender is a foundation that is dedicated to building confidence in the Nigerian girl child through educational and inspirational programs, like supporting programs that promote girl child education. We also organize physical exercises for our young girls for the overall well-being of their mental and physical states, and also for the acquisition of self-defense skills. We also sensitize girls on laws that protect them. In our constitution, a lot of girls do not know that they have rights, that there are laws that protect their interests in Nigeria. Hence, they are vulnerable, they are living in fear, which is stopping them from reaching their full potentials. So we sensitize them on the laws that protect their interests. This, like I said, is visioned towards building confidence in the Nigerian girl child. So that is just a wrap-up of what we do at Root Gender Foundation. I would say I resonate with the struggles and the challenges of the girl child, particularly the Warri girl child. I happen to grow up in the heart of Warri. From an average background. My family is an average one, but I experienced a lot. Like I said, I was bullied, I was overlooked, I was harassed for being a different child, for daring to be different, and nobody was taking note and tapping into my potentials. So my interest for the girl child is I would love to be a voice for the girl child. They need people to believe in them. They need people to speak for them. I also want the Warri girl child to know that there is hope beyond the reef. I want them to see the bigger picture. I want them to know that they can compete on global platforms. They can compete on international platforms, and they can do very well. We have the likes of Ada Gold, or Maumi, and the rest of them. They are all competing very well on international platforms, and I know that you too can do that, and I want you to know that is why we are here. Root Gender Foundation is here to make you understand that you can actually be what you want to be. As part of our objectives at Root Gender Foundation, we are dedicated to promoting girl child education. Like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. I represent the brand the African Girl Child, because I have gone through the struggles from there to here. So giving 2 million to the best female participants is just a way to share them on. It's just a way to make them know that we believe in you. I believe in you. You can look up to us. We are sharing you on. It is not about the money. We believe in your potential. We want our girls to know that you are doing the right thing at the right time. You are in the right place, and this is what you should be doing. That's why we are supporting you, and we will always be here to support you. Girl-child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect our girl child. You know, my NGO, we've been pursuing a bill that we will see to be passed. We are asking that our girls should be allowed to carry pepper spray as weapons of self-defense. Because if you look at it, our women have nothing to protect themselves. They are just there by the grace of God. So we are pursuing laws that will protect the girl child. So empowerment, girl child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect the girl child, educating the girl child on time and money management, financial literacy, and equipping them with self-defense skills. Also, access to quality education. This to me is girl child empowerment and nothing more. A girl child must possess effective communication skills. They should be able to communicate effectively. A girl child should be financially literate. She should know how to manage her finances, and she should also know how to manage her time. Yes. Also, most importantly, another skill is self-awareness. It's important for our girls to know who they are, to believe in themselves. That's the vision of our NGO, building confident girls that can achieve their full potentials in Nigeria. That is our NGO's vision. So yeah, those are some of the skills I believe that the girl child should possess. She needs role models. She needs people that have led that path and have made it. Our young girls need role models. That's why we have to do better. We have to do the work. We have to bridge the gap. We have to share them on like we are doing. You can achieve your dreams. First, you have to make education your best friend. Every effort you put into learning will always be there for you to never fail you. Boys will break your heart, people will break your heart, but every effort you put towards learning anything, everything will always come through for you. So for you to achieve your dreams, look towards the right people, look towards the right direction. There are people that have achieved in that route. I will encourage you to look up to them, learn from them. That is just the way to achieve your dreams. My message to the Warri Child, like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. We are letting the world know that we are not vile, we are not roused, we are educated, we compete intellectually, we have good things ahead of us. We can do it on the global platform, we can do it on the national platform, and we are everything there is to be a woman. I would encourage you, Warri Girl Child, make education your best friend. Make education your best friend. Learn new things. Learn new languages. Okay? And the sky will be your starting point. We are always here to share you up. Don't forget that my name is Ruth Edema Collins from Root Gender Foundation, and from all of us wishing you the best, we say keep watching Atlantic TV.
Ruth Gender Foundation.
The United Nations in Nigeria this week vow to bar corrupt high-profile individuals from entering the United States. The U.S. mission posted on X warning that it resolved to fight corruption would not spare anyone, stating that high-profile individuals who engage in corrupt practices will be barred from entering the United States. Also stating that fighting corruption knows no boundary or limits on accountability, and warned that when high-profile individuals engage in corruption, they can be barred from receiving United States visas. The U.S. government has in the past imposed ban on Nigerian politicians accused of undermining the electoral democratic process. Just last month, the London-based independent policy institution, Chatham House, warned that despite 25 years of reforms attempt to deal with corruption, corruption remains embedded in Nigerian institutions. It said the impact on the society was both devastating and multifaceted, undermining the country's democracy, and also undermines its people, eroding economic prosperity and negatively impacting on growth. The latest United States warning comes as Nigerian transparency advocate raises concern over alleged mismanagement of public funds, abuse of office across all levels of government. But the question remains, will this move deter corrupt officials from still being corrupt? And can this be the beginning of other countries following suit in dealing with corruption? Well, this and more as it concerns corruption in Nigeria is what this edition of Dialogue is all about. And that is ban on corrupt public officials by the United States. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. We're looking at the recent push by the United States of America to bar corrupt politicians or office holders from having the United States visa. But anyway, we're not having any visa or need any visa to bring him here. He can come in and also help us talk about it. And we're talking of no other person, but well, indeed, someone from the democracy and good governance. And I'm talking of Comrade Emeka Nwokocha. Well, Comrade Emeka Nwokocha, nice to have you on the show. Like I said, you need no visa to come to the Atlantic Media and TV building to have this discussion. But all the same, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the privilege.
Privilege it is. But did a very strong one coming from the United States of America. And well, especially with the United States President Donald Trump, who we know is always having a change of narrative of how things are. And now he's coming with this very idea of imposing a ban on persons that are perceived to be corrupt. Well, we don't know how that will be implemented or when it will be implemented, but it's already going out there. So my question now is, what's your reaction to this very recent move by the United States of America to put a ban on corrupt office holders in Nigeria?
My reaction is kudos. Kudos and kudos. You see, Mr. Mike, the corruption issue in this country is nothing we should handle with kid gloves.
Most certainly.
You know, it has a very detrimental effect on the people. And since about our outcry, yearnings, you know, our interventions, appeals to these governments, you know, those who are running the government, to deliver governance with transparency, accountability, and fairness, they have not actually shown signs of responsibility in governance, and they have continued, you know, to punish, you know, the ordinary, patriotic, law-abiding Nigerians. So for no reason. So I think the United Nations, United States of America, you know, had and have over time expressed their displeasure over the manner corruption, you know, is really embedded in the political system. And now they are taking it further to now want to slam, you know, a kind of sanction on persons perceived to be corrupt, obviously high-profile Nigerians as it were. And I think that would send a signal, that would inspire the ordinary Nigerian, you know, to begin to see the reason why we must, you know, push further, you know, for good governance. Because if United States implements this policy to the letter, I think the clarion call now would be for other nations,
Yeah,
you know,
to
mostly
fall through.
Yes, mostly the UK and other countries in Europe to follow suit. So if they are not denied, you know, to go to these countries where they spend our hard-earned money on frivolities, then they will definitely have a rethink. So you are now, you know, compared to remain in your country and do the needful. So it's another way of telling the Nigerian leaders that we are not happy the way things are going in this country. You know, the citizens are adversely being, you know, malnourished, being, you know, impoverished because of your actions and the,
I was almost coming there of how really impoverished Nigerians have become. But my question, you raised it up. Now let's look. The London-based independent policy institute, and we're talking about the Chatham House, came out just last month to say that undermining 25 years of reforms as it concerns corruption, corruption is still embedded in our own institutions. And when they talk about institutions, they're talking about our government institutions. It's still well embedded. And this is what they've come to say, undermining will have 25 years of reforms. Now, my next question is, I'm now being forced to ask, how really endemic is corruption in Nigeria? Yes, how much of an institution or institutionalizing it has it been in our own fabric as a people?
Yeah, I want to thank the Chatham House for having a very transparent record about and following up the corruption index in Nigeria over time. It mentioned 25 years. That tells you from 1999, you know, the subsequent governments you've had, you have not actually done anything to elevate the living standard of Nigerians. And you're asking about how
really endemic,
let me
how
not
really
tell
embedded
you, for you to know.
In our own
Let's even
fabrics.
start with your MBS, you know, our statistics as at 2020 or 2023 that says 133 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. And what that means is that dimensionally in the sense that the poor Nigerian cannot have access to good food, cannot have access to good housing, cannot have access to good education, cannot have access to good clothing. So all and those things, you know, that make life, you know, meaningful, are the Nigerians are deprived of these opportunities. And again, you recall that UNICEF, you know, came up, I think last year here, with a very frightening data that 2 million Nigerians, you know, are suffering under severe acute malnutrition. 2 million Nigerians are suffering. Now,
we'll come to the impact, but I want us to understand, that's why I'm asking you, how really embedded? Is it in our own fabric? Is it in our everyday life? Are we so used to corruption? Are we corrupt as a people? Our institutions, we're talking about tertiary institutions, health institutions, even government offices so corrupt. Corruption is now just a way of life. It's what we breathe, it's what we feel, it's what we see. Are we really that corrupt as a people?
Yes.
Let's live with not just only the politician, but is our very fabric corrupted?
Yes. It's a symbol, it's a national symbol. Let me tell you something, how serious it is. Are you not surprised that Nigeria is the largest producer of crude oil in Africa?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we have struck another gold, gas. Nigeria is the largest producer of gas in Africa. Good. Let's start with that narrative. Does it in any way reflect in the livelihood of the other Nigerians? So what you have to do is this. Check out the lifestyle of the average Nigerian public office holder.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Without him being told, you discover that what he brings into office is personal aggrandizement.
Okay.
He does not think about the ordinary persons.
Okay.
Now, even if you even go by the humongous amount, they even pay them at their emolument and salary. Let's even leave it at that. You're surprised that what they spend a day is 100 times, or what they spend is 100 times what
they claim to receive.
What they claim to receive. So that is corruption. Are you there? And you are seeing the way they handle public policies. You know, you see that all about governance as it concerns them, you know, is housed to lining their pocket with ill-gotten wealth. And again, they have bastardized all institutions in this country. Take, for instance, your police institution, which is supposed to be the next holiest, as the case may be. What do you have in the police sector today? Corruption, they wear the tag of corruption. They wear, you know, the fabric of corruption as a uniform. And this thing happened in the full glare of the public. It is not even hidden. It is being advertised. And your country, your institutions, your leaders see these things happen that stare us in the face and nothing is done. That will tell you that it has been accepted as a norm. when you go across, you know,
all board,
the civil service, let me start with that. Because the man at the top, you know, has made it a symbol and they hold tenaciously to it and cherish it. So it has become a way of life. So when the people look at the top and discover that this is what is in place, is in vogue, so what do you expect them to do? And when you deploy corrupt acts at your office, there's no consequent management being meted out to you. So what does that tell you? That it is not an acceptable norm. So knowingly or unknowingly, it has become a national template of governance. So the only thing Nigerian man understands is corruption. If there's no corruption, you know, around him, automatically it appears, you know, he has not started his daily work for that day.
Okay.
But then, it is so alarming and it's so worrisome and horrifying to note that these things happen and the governments, you know, are not bothered about it. And that's the reason today, if you go look at, you know, our ranking across board,
yes,
you discover that it is so annoying, it's mind-boggling, worrisome. So it appears that the only language the Nigerian man understands as concerns our client is corruption. And they made it so endemic because the people are now impoverished. The people cannot meet their daily needs, right? So anywhere you find them in public service, they must want to cut corners to make up for the shortfalls. Shortfalls as in not having enough money to rent a comfortable accommodation. Shortfall as not having enough money to provide good food for the children. Shortfall as in not having enough income, you know, to put their children in a good school. Shortfall as in not having enough income to cater for their personal well-being. So they must look for a shortcut. And when they go about the shortcuts, no matter whatever way, the institution, the system does not frown at it. So automatically it has become a systemic issue.
Okay.
It has been embedded. So what is remaining now is for the National Assembly now to sit on one day, you know, and make it, you know, a formal and a legalized policy. That corruption will now find its way in our constitution.
Oh, well, come on.
Yeah. Because the body language has told that it's an accepted
So
I'm waiting for that.
I doubt how a National Assembly will institutionalize corruption as passing a bill.
So I am waiting for them
okay, well,
to elevate it to that standard.
We will wait. We'll never wait for that. I will wait no further in asking the next question. Now, if I could still remember, that should be in March of 2022. The Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Professionalism in Nigeria came out to say that 70 to 75% of our annual budgetary are always stolen away. That's why we see little or no impact of the budget year in, year out, whether it is the main budget, appropriation budget, or any other one, that 70 to 75% of it is being stolen. It's been unaccounted for. We only walk ahead with just little or nothing in our annual budget. Now, if that's the case, my next question, I know I had to stop you before now because I wanted us to set the record straight, lay the foundation of our discussion. Now, let's look at the impact all of this corruption has had over the years on ordinary Nigerians. Let's look at the impact it has had on the largest producer of oil in Africa, the largest producer of gas in Africa, the most advanced as it concerns entertainment in Africa, and also one of the growing as it concerns solid mineral in the whole sub-region of West Africa. Let's look at the impact these have had over the years on ordinary.
The impacts are, you know, they are mind-boggling just as they cut across board. Let's take the health sector, for instance.
Okay.
Do you know the infant mortality rate in Nigeria ranks among the highest in the world?
Yeah.
Do you know in terms of all manner of communicable diseases, you know, that our children and our nationals, you know, are roundly victims of it just because of the fact that we don't have good health sector?
Yes.
You live in your neighborhood, Mr. Mike. Would you be able to say that you have a health sector, you could say, yes, this has this meets
a government
run health
provided
sector that meets international standard. No. So, and across board, just as it is in Delta,
health
that's how
sector,
it is across the 36 states, including Abuja. So that tells you within the health sector, the Nigerian man, when you are sick, your faith lies in God. What government ordinarily should do for you, the health insurance policy as it were, which ought to be your inalienable right, because citizens must live and be healthy for us to have the energy to develop our economy. Your government don't take along that line. They don't even care about your well-being. So when you are sick, you just need to go to church and start praying to God to get, healing. So our health centers, are mere consulting centers. So nothing to write home about. Our doctors, they are all jetting out of our health institutions because of poor remuneration, poor facilities, and other. These things are possible to put on ground. But let me tell you, but when these public officers are sick, when they contract small headache, they fly to India, they fly to US, they fly to Europe for medical attentions. But the ordinary Nigerian man cannot find Panadol. So at the end of the day, the effect of the corruption is that money that ought to be channeled to this public services, training programs, have been stolen with impunity. They steal it with impunity. They move in our street, and their ego tells you that they don't even care about your life. Now, take it down to the educational sector. Our institutions now, they are mere glorified secondary schools. I'm talking about the universities. Before now, in the 60s and 70s, our universities were ranked among the best in the world. But today, in Africa, you will hardly see us maintaining 20, along the rankings. You're not even talking across the board. Why? Our institutions, have all decayed. Then, are you talking about poverty? Let me not go there. I have read out striking statistics here. NBS said 1.3 million Nigerians must be poor in 2022, but that is before the government of Tinubu came in and removed the fuel subsidy, which somersaulted the economy. In other words, you need about 300% of your earnings or more than to be able to sustain the life you were living before Tinubu came in. And remember that your minimum wage was increased to 70,000 naira, which cannot get you a bag of rice. Now, starting from the what does that take? Taking up this issue and debating it and say, we must do something to save our children. These are the children that will come to inherit the Nigeria of tomorrow. And you don't even care about their life. Rather, all the money, they are always budgets, allocations to all these, to meeting these services. But do this money get to the right sources? No. Persons are there, government officials are there, politicians are there to steal all of them with impunity. They don't even care. They are not scared. Have you ever seen the country, taking this serious to say, when you steal government money, you'll be accountable to it, you'll be punished in line with the law? You don't even say it. It appears when you steal the money, that is okay for us. And because the character has shown that the government tolerates, that the government, accepts, promotes,
kick gloves over,
corruption. So the people do it, without even minding. There's no atom of fear, care, as it were. So the impact cut across the board. Poverty has become the order of the day. Nigerians are poverty-stricken. Nigerians, are in all manner of well-being. We can't see.
If you talk like this, if you give us this narrative, it will baffle a whole lot of Nigerians that why we've not been able to rein this in. Now, let me be specific. Just last year alone, the EFCC racked in about 1 trillion naira in assets and in cash recovered from corrupt politicians. This is the highest we've had since the inception of EFCC since 2003. And yet, we still find more persons ready, like you said, to steal more. So this now brings us to this question. Why are we still having this go on? Is it our anti-graft agencies are poor to handle this issue? is it all about our judiciary not having enough muscle to deal with these persons, put them where they should be? Because I could still remember some cases, some persons were called to give account of what they've done as it concerns public funds. They were left off the hook here in Nigeria, but they were punished and persecuted in other countries. So let's understand why or what is the reason that this is still continuing. Is it our poor institutions or our inability to drive home the push for corruption to end?
The people that steal your money are not me and you, they're not small men. It's a vicious circle. They belong to the same club. They are in the club your president belongs. They are in the club your governors belong. It's in the club all your ministers belong. It's in the club all your commissioners belong. Your House Assembly members belong. So belong to the elitist corrupt club. So when you steal and you are in that club, what happens to you?
It's a new club. I've not heard
So
of that.
you may not know.
But it's not the Premier League, though.
I am telling you, you may not see this in your official archive.
Okay.
But apparently, what I'm telling you is what is happening. So when you steal, you are welcomed and you are applauded. Thumb up for you. In as much as you are deliberate, intentional to pepper the ordinary poor Nigerian. That's the intention of those who are managing our affairs. You know, their priority, primary motive is to kill the ordinary Nigerian, pepper him, ensure you slough life out of him. Because the policies,
that will not be true.
No, let me tell you why it is like that. You know, there are some policies you will see. You know, you should be able to know if you do not like me, your body language, there's a way it speaks that you do not like my presence, right? So what I'm telling you that if you are saying no, go through the policies your government is running, and they are all punitive. They are all tailored towards denying the ordinary Nigerian man his right to good living. Your constitution in section 14, subsection 2 says here that the primary, subsection 114 says the primary purpose of governance is what? The welfare and the security of people. Now, let's take up these two items. Let's capitalize on the welfare. Do you see any policy of this country, of your government, that is tailored, that is intentional, that prioritizes the welfare of the Nigerian? The answer is no. It does not even arise. It does not even well up in their hearts. It does not even discussed. They don't even care about that. So if you do not intentionally prioritize the welfare of the citizen, which is the primary purpose why you are there, then why are you there? So now that they have shifted the attention from the basics to do their own personal business, running Nigerian government like a private estate, that's why I tell you they belong to a club, the illicit club, that tends to promote corruption. And once you belong to that club, you can do anything, you go scot-free. But if a smallest man goes to steal a goat, forget it. You will not see the action of your judiciary. You will not see that magistrate that you see there. You will see the venom in the magistrate. They are going to slam the highest punishment on that small man that went to steal a goat. But the man that steal billions, that to change the future of the country, both those living and unborn, when you even mistakenly takes him to court, they say what they call a plea bargain. It creeps into our jurisprudence. At the end of the day, he goes off the hook, having pleaded that you should return 10% of your loot. And tomorrow when you see him, he starts globetrotting. He starts swaggering. When you see his ego, that will tell you that we own. People have owned this country. They have owned this country as a personal estate. So whether you like it or not, right? Nigerians are under, these cabals, and it is what they determine your future to be. Is what, for instance, I cannot tell you, I can't tell you that I can afford what is called nutritious food. In those who were taught how to eat a balanced diet. You know what the balanced diet means? Not putting rice in pot and putting one egg. No, that tells you that you must have considered all the foods and begin to, at your own time, select them as you want to be able to eat and live well and grow well. And to really embarrass you more, do you know that Nigeria is a country that holds the largest stunted children in the world? Stunted children in the world. That means a children created by God. God has given them life. It's only your government that says that life God has given you free of charge cannot be expressed to you. Stunted. A child of 10 years will be looking like a child of 5. Why? No nutritious food.
Okay.
This statistics stares us in the face. I am not telling you what is not in existence.
Coach, I will plead with you to calm down.
So that is my situation.
Well, I will plead with you to calm down. Yeah. We will not be having stunted children here in our discussion. We pray it doesn't come to that. But let's continue our discussion. In case you are joining us, it's dialogue. And we're talking about the recent push by the United States of America to really bar public office holders that are perceived to be corrupt. And you do know that President Trump seems to be changing the narrative as it concerns some things he's eager to see. One of them is to see that public office holders in Nigeria that are perceived to be corrupt will not be issued visa on account of allegations of corruption against them, whether they've been found guilty or not. But if you just have a tag over your neck that I am corrupt, well, forget going to the United States, because very soon, no visa for you. So just come to Budu Cattle Ranch, or you can come around Ugunu. But anyway, before you go to Ugunu, I will come back here now to you. And let's continue our discussion. Now, Nigeria scored 26 out of 100 points in our 2024 ranking in Transparency International. And over the years, our basic point has always been like 21.6%. Over the years since inception in 1996. And we even came to about 28% in 2018, which is the highest we've had as it concerns our corruption index. Now, my question is, yes, this seems to be a problem. And we might keep talking about it, keep crying about it, keep doing all we can. Shout to the high heavens, put them in prayers, put them in our daily routine in prayers, kabash in around 3 in the morning. At the end, put fasting that will still impoverish you in the afternoon and in the evening, but yet things are not changing. So what do you feel our anti-graft agencies and the judiciary, which you complain seems to have double standards, should now start to do for us to curb this? Whether we cry or not, it's still there. What do we need to do as a people to end this madness?
Who set them up? They didn't just start existing on their own. The Nigerian government set them up and gave them terms of references. And they are under the whims and caprices of the presidency. So what the president tells them to do is what they do. Are they independent? No matter what you say, are independent corrupt. These are just mere rhetorics. Are they independent? If they are independent, then they should go all out. And I can tell you, if they are ready to do their jobs, all prisons in this country will be expanded and more will be built. I said it here or in one of my engagements that any Nigerian leader that leaves the office, if you have immunity that covers you while you're in office, as soon as you leave, your next sabbatic leave should be in the prison. I have said it without missing words. I would not even need to go to court, right? Because all of them are roundly corrupt. And they advertise
But that would be putting a tag around your neck.
Yes, let me tell you something.
Would that be a fair
It is my opinion. Any person that says he is not corrupt, I will challenge him to public discourse. Did you declare your assets before you took that office?
Most of them did.
Mike, most of them did. Declare an asset in Nigeria. Did they make it public? How do you declare an asset sincerely? It ought to be a public discourse. It shouldn't be done in secrecy. You right? Okay, when you are living in the office, if you did you come again
to check?
To balance the equations. So, see, what I'm telling you that the EFCC
and ICPC.
The ICPC are ready to do their job to clean the audience table. All our politicians, 90%, would be cooling their heels in the prison. As soon as they leave, they will find them in themselves in the next sabbatic leave. And in their sabbatic leave should be in our prison. And again, if they are intentional, I want to see them now expanding our prisons, or call it correctional center as it were. Be ready for the work. I said you have to clean the audience table. Because it is not a child's play. Because some persons said sometime that if we do not kill corruption, corruption will kill us. and the corruption is killing us. It has even killed many. You're about to kill more. But you have to intervene. But the institution, which is the government, must give it a nod. Give it a nod, not playing a double standard. It's a clarion call to the president of this country, in the person of His Excellency, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, to save Nigerians from the drift we are heading, from abyss. Because if we do not do this, my creed, I fear what the future portends for this country. Because we do not have any institution again you could call your own any longer.
Okay.
Yes. Because services are no longer delivered. They are no longer deployed, are no longer delivered. The human life, does not matter anything to this country any longer. The sustainability in terms of life does not matter anything again in this country. In short, the welfare of the people has now been threaded out. No person talks about the welfare of the people any longer. What's ordinarily supposed to dominate the public discourse. So at the end of the day, the ordinary Nigerian is now, at the receiving end. I will tell you, in confidence that you are saying 70,000 naira is the minimum wage of the average Nigerian, Mr. Ray. In the worry we are living, the smallest one-bedroom apartment you call self-contained, how much does it go? That tells you, I have made it known here or somewhere else, that from the standard the Nigerian government has said, the low-income earning Nigerians are supposed to be living in the forest.
Oh, come on.
And come to work for the forest.
Oh, come on.
Yes,
come on.
because analytically, let us be, sincere about our analysis. 70,000 naira, perhaps the other allowances might up it up to 100,000 naira. Mike, a man that has 3 children, that 100,000 naira, to be sincere, you can't take care of your need for a month for only that worker. Then let alone his wife and his 3 children. That tells you that the entire family is enmeshed in severe impoverishment, poverty, suffering, malnutrition, hardship, hunger. But they are not crying out because they don't have any platform. So at the end of the day, the consequence will be many are dying, many are being malnourished, many are being stunted. So a lot happen. Families are being broken, and reportage on these things are not seen in the public. So I am the president of the Talakawas, and my constituents, what they feel is what I'm coming to tell you, and I feel it too. I feel the pinch too. So at the end of the day, when we speak the facts, people think maybe we are manufacturing our data, but it is truth, because these guys don't go to the suburbs, they don't go to the hinterlands, they don't go to the villages. Even if they do go, they don't have the empathy, they don't have the concern, the feeling to actually put themselves in the shoes of these other Nigerians who are paying the bills in terms of making the sacrifices that our country must see tomorrow. Our country must progress. Because if these people are not there, there's no Nigeria.
Okay, now, I will plead with you to hold on. Time is not a friend. Before we go back to the Stone Age and also put on hides,
yes,
rather than living in buildings, like you said. Now the United States of America seems to be taking a lead as it concerns corruption on the international stage, and are talking of placing a ban. And most likely, we might also see other countries falling through with this certain move. Now, do you see this really turning things around, changing the narrative, restructuring the minds of these corrupt public office holders? Because, like you said, these monies are not being put here. They are still taken to these foreign lands to either invest there or to spend there. So do you feel if this is really the way to go, and would be a way to go by the United States of America and other countries, will it in every way curb? I'm not saying eradicate, because that will be hard to find, but would it in every way curb the level of corruption as
it might, but the citizens must play their own role. We must amplify it. What we are doing here is amplifying it.
Yes.
So it's a challenge to all media now, to make it a regular discourse. And the people must, participate in governance actively.
Okay.
We must, leverage all opportunities, all platforms to ensure that we start calling our governments, to order. if America could do that, you know, we should still now start appealing through our writings, through our engagements, to other countries to follow suit. So at the end of the day, when these countries follow suit, and there's a total denial of visas to these guys, they cannot leave this country alone. I think, like somebody has said, that if it can be made a policy that every public officer, you know, should put his child in the public school, that it will make them, it will inspire them to look into the rot in the public system and fix it because their children are there. So that kind of, you know, mindset, you know, that kind of discourse, you know, can as well be seen happening if other countries too follow suit. So when they cannot leave this country any longer, the next option is we have no other place to go now. Obudukato Ranch, how comfortable is it? If it's not well, okay, why can't we put money there and make it suitable for us to go? So it will not like change their mindset.
Okay.
Because what they are doing is not by mistake. It is intentional. They are aware. It is something they have intentionally, deliberately, you know, chosen to do. So they could still, let go that when the people's outcry, you know, are being amplified. So it will now be, you know, stinking them on their skin. And not only that, we should ensure that we leverage every opportunity. We should ensure that we start taking these guys to think our judiciary are not really, you know, fair. But to a very large extent too, I will tell you that when we start doing that, even those at the judiciary will definitely begin to know that it is only this country we have. So if we kill this country, now where would we run to? So we start knocking this sense into them. You know, before you know it, it will start changing the orientation, and their policy will begin, you know, to be tailored, you know, towards providing the necessities that people need to live life and live it comfortably. And that is the only thing the average Nigerian is looking for. The average Nigerian man is very, very resilient. He's dogged. I mean, he does not even dwell on luxuries too much. So he needs the basics to actually live his life, and he doesn't have any problem. Why not provide it? Why not provide water? Provide housing, good infrastructure, good education, good health facilities, and all. And provide jobs for the teeming youth that are ready. There are youths in other claims that don't want to work. But Nigerian youths want to work. If you go to school, if you see how people struggle to get to school, because they have the intention that they want to better their lives. When they have struggled, gone to school and came out, a government ought to applaud them, to compliment their effort, because they are coming to put all they have learned to develop the economy and this country for the betterment of everybody. Instead of you promoting that entrepreneurship, you are killing that spirit. I don't understand.
Okay,
so
what I do understand,
I don't understand.
What I do understand, and what I will not want us to kill is the discussion. Yeah. But I'll really make you understand that we're really out of time, and I've been giving the signal because time is not a friend, and we still have a whole lot to talk. But just like what you've said, you feel more needs to be done, especially by the United States of America and others, to see if there will be a checkmate in these persons going over. They might really have a rethink and think of developing our own country, and it could really be more of a blessing in disguise. But all the same, it will not be fair if I do not really thank you so much. And I'm talking of no other person but the Takalawas or
the president or the Talakawas. They have lots.
Oh, that's
in Nigeria.
Okay, well, anyway. Yes. Anyway, will not be pushed in for anything that concerns, how will I put it, subduing the already democratic process. So I will need to thank you so much, Comrade Emeka Wokocha. He's of the CEO or the CSO of Value, and also the protection of good governance and democracy in Nigeria. And I'm talking of no other person but Emeka Wokocha, Comrade Emeka Wokocha. Nice having you always on this platform. Thank you for spending your time.
Thank you. And I want to thank your platform for the wonderful work they are doing.
Well, thank you.
God bless you guys.
Well, thank you. Well, anyway, it's more like a wrap for me on this. Let's always get your reactions. We talked about this. What's your take, especially as it concerns all that Comrade Emeka Wokocha has said, as it concerns barring or putting a ban on public office holders in Nigeria that are perceived to be corrupt by the United States of America? Would it help to curb the issue? And why are we not really winning the war against corruption undermining? We have 25 years of broken democratic process and also reforms being geared towards dealing with that. Let all of your reactions follow. Send them to our different social media platforms. You'll be surprised. We might just take them as they come. And most honestly, very soon we'll be opening up the lines so you can call, react, and also discuss about all these issues that seem to have been dialogue and every other of our platform. But for me, Michael Gobadia, God willing, we'll see next week on Dialogue, and we'll have a fresh one. But well, remember the news call will come, and definitely I'll be trending along. She brings in some lovely stories for us to talk about. God bless you.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
All right, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Adi.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom. Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together, we can end it. Together, we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
$20,000. Ghana, His Royal Majesty, like I said before, is pleased to receive you. And I have his mandate to say that you are welcome.
I've been mandated by His Majesty Atuashi III, the Rule of Glory, to ask that the blessing that God has given to the kola nut, to make it such that when it is planted, it must grow. So will your kingdom grow. So will your kingdom be fruitful. The fruit will be a blessing to the land, a blessing to all who live here, a blessing to all who wish you well. It will be well with your family. It will be well with all that has to do with you. In the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. His Majesty Ogame Atuashi III, the Rule of Glory, has mandated me to express very deep gratitude for the royal welcome. He just felt that you are his brother, and once in a while there should be the meeting to just have pleasantries, discuss issues, and found that this elaborate arrangement has been made. He's very happy, very grateful, and deeply appreciates it.
We are very proud of your son, our governor, His Excellency, who's always preaching peace, cooperation, and unity. and we are confident that under his stewardship, under his leadership, the state will continue to enjoy peace. It will continue to enjoy prosperity. It will continue to enjoy progress. One that will take this state to enviable heights. And I know it will do all of us proud. God bless you all.
Open people who are very peaceful, lovely people. I will cherish our relationship. We are married for so many years. Our trading with ourselves. So we are friends, and we wanted to so be friends. We have a lot of security people in Sapler. They stay there for years. We are married, and so the friendship to continue. And we want that friendship to continue for us to live together in peace. Once again, you are welcome, and God bless you.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
A roundup on Atlantic TV. I'm Michael Gabadia. Here are our top stories. Tinubu honors Ogoni for, others step to restart oil production. The Kurede community celebrate Ugwaolu with Olu of Ori in grand style. And the FCT council polls, INEC warns parties against provocative campaigns. Tariff Chinese competition threatens Southeast Europe 2026 growth, says EBRD. And also, Tinubu pushes for Nigeria to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games. Now to the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has confirmed posthumous national honors and four slain Ogoni leaders and directed fresh moves to restart oil production in Ogoni land after about 3 decades. The late Abat Badi, Edward Kubani, and Theophilus Orage, and also Samuel Orage were each awarded the Commander of the Order of the Niger at the presidential villa on Wednesday. The president also announced plans to resume oil production in Ogoni land, suspended since 1993. He directed the National Security Advisor and the NNPCL to engage stakeholders with the Environmental Ministry, ensuring remediation and cleanup. The committee led by Professor Dan Baridom said Ogoni communities support restarting production if it guarantees justice, cleanup, and community participation. Receiving the Ogoni Consultative Committee report, President Tinubu described the gesture as a step towards healing and reconciliation, urging the Ogoni people to move forward in unity. It was a day of color, tradition, and unity as Ukurede community came alive during the Ugwaolu celebration with His Majesty Ogiame Atuashedi III, CFR, the Olu of Ori. The majestic entrance of the Olu of Ori lit up the celebration with his presence symbolizing grace, authority, and deep-rooted tradition. From vibrant display of culture to heartfelt expression of unity, the Ugwaolu celebration reflected the enduring spirit of the Shikiri people. The event highlighted the Kurode community's commitment to preserving heritage while celebrating togetherness under the revered leadership of the Olu of Ori. Community members turned out in numbers, showcasing culture and also solidarity as the host said His Majesty in grand fashion. Tension is mounting in Delta State as fear of communal clashes grow between Isele, Asaba, and Okpanam over an alleged illegal boundary adjustment. The Committee for the Defense of Human Rights has condemned the move, warning it would spark unrest and displace families. Tega expressed that the dispute is already before a competent court, yet some parties are resorting to self-help. A further alleged fraud in a purported consent judgment backing the adjournment, citing irregularities and exclusion of stakeholders. Residents fear the crisis could destroy homes and farmlands, urging authorities to intervene. The CDHR called on the Delta State Government, Attorney General, and Boundary Committee to act swiftly, halt boundary activities, and investigate the disputed judgment. Communities were also urged to reclaim or remain calm while the court decides. The national president, Dr. Kainde Prince Tega, says the local government chairmen lack constitutional powers to alter boundaries, calling the action a recipe for crisis. Now, away from that, the Independent National Electoral Commission has cautioned political parties, candidates, and their supporters against the use of abusive or provocative language as campaigns officially begin for the 2026 FCT Area Council elections. Now, according to INEC timetable, campaign for the February 21st, 2026 polls commenced on Wednesday and will end midnight on February 19th. Olumikon reminded political parties that the law forbids physical attacks on opponents, destruction of campaign materials, and denial of access to public facilities for rallies or advertising. Stressed that the Commission will work closely with security agents to monitor compliance, urging political stakeholders to play by the rules for credible and peaceful elections in the FCT. The 2026 FCT polls will be keenly contested, and INEC says the tune of campaign in the coming months will be critical to ensuring free, fair, and violence-free elections. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumikon, said the Commission will enforce provisions of Electoral Act to ensure a peaceful campaign process, warning that incumbency must not be used to confer undue advantage. Still talking politics, the People's Democratic Party is yet to conclude microzoning arrangement for the key positions ahead of its national convention billed for Ibadan next month. In Abuja, the PDP NEC member who pleaded anonymity told journalists the delay stems from the leadership failure to meet and finalize decision. The source confirmed the arrangement may be concluded before the end of September, but for now, aspirants and stakeholders remain in suspense. At the PDP National Secretariat, the senior staff also declined to comment, insisting they were not authorized to speak. The microzoning formula will determine which states and geopolitical zones produce top officers in the party's new leadership structure. The Ibadan Convention is seen as a key test for PDP as it positions itself for the 2027 general election. Party sources said consultations are still ongoing, with leadership expected to harmonize positions before presenting a report at the 103rd National Executive Committee meeting on October the 15th. Well, we'll tell you to still remain. We'll need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more news across Niger Delta, as well as business, sports, and foreign news. Join us.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Edi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Niger Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom. Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Welcome back. Now the rest of the news. The Central Bank of Nigeria has warned that careless handling of the naira is inflating the cost of printing and replacing banknotes. At the launch of the sensitization campaign in Abuja, Deputy Governor Dr. Bala Bello, represented by Dr. Adedeji Adetola, said the naira is not just a means of payment but a symbol of national pride. The campaign themed Naira Our Pride, Handle with Care, calls for collective action from banks, traders, transport unions, schools, civil groups, and the media. Bello also cautioned against cash hoarding, stressing its strained circulation, especially during festive period. Now, the CBN 2024 report shows that about 315.18 billion naira was spent on currency expenses, a sharp rise from 77.67 billion naira in 2023. The bank says the campaign will extend nationwide to preserve the naira's value and cut cost. It lamented that folding, tearing, spraying at events, and mutilation of notes undermining the currency and drive up maintenance cost. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has received over 318 billion naira between January and August of 2025 to fund new frontier oil exploration across inland basin. Document from September Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting shows that the funds represent 30% of production sharing contract profits set aside monthly for exploration. Now, in July, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission unveiled the Frontier Basin Exploration and Development Plan. It detailed thematic surveys, stress field detention, and new wildcard drilling, with projects lined up in Dahomey, Bida, Chad, and also Benue. The NUPRC, led by Chief Executive Benga Komolafe, noted that these activities will help the risk assess and determine further exploratory drilling despite a shortfall in overall PSC profit this year, which stood at 1.06 trillion against a target of 1.58 trillion. The statutory 30% deduction for frontier exploration was consistently applied, accumulating 318.05 billion naira by August. The Production Industry Act of 2022 established the Frontier Exploration Fund to boost oil search in underexplored basins, including Anambra, Bida, Dahomey, Sokoto, Chad, and also Benue. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development warns that Southeast Europe economy will face new strains in 2026 from US tariff, Chinese competition, and tight government budgets. The bank slightly downgraded next year's growth forecast for Romania and the Balkans, even as this year's projection improved to 3.1%. Now, experts from EBRD regions spiked earlier this year before dipping in the second quarter. Kazakhstan gained from bullion sales, while Hungary benefited from pharmaceutical and also computers. But the bank warns that these boosts may fade under tariff pressure and Chinese competition founded in 1991. The EBRD now spans Eastern Europe, North Africa, and part of Sub-Saharan Africa. It projects 3.3% growth in 2026, slightly below earlier forecasts. Ukraine's growth was cut to 2.5% due to the war, while Russia's GDP is now seen at 1.3%. Chief economist Bita Djokovic said the first pressure point is access to the U.S. market as countries scramble to adjust ahead of tariff. Now, away from that to the foreign scene, the White House has directed United States federal agencies to prepare for a mass layoff of workers in the event of the government shutdown next week. The looming shutdown stems from a bitter funding clash between the Trump administration and Congressional Democratic Party. Democrats in Senate rejected a Republican-backed stopgap funding bill last week, while President Trump canceled a meeting with their leaders, accusing them of being unrealistic. Now, with the fiscal deadline of September 30 approaching and Congress on recess, time is running out to avert a shutdown. If an agreement is reached, non-essential government operations will halt, and hundreds of thousands of civil servants could be left without pay. This could mark yet another chapter in Washington's recurring budget standoff, with the last shutdown occurring in March over massive proposed budget cuts. For now, uncertainty grips federal workers as both chambers of Congress face mounting pressure to strike a deal before next week's deadline. A memo from the Office of the Management and Budget obtained by Politico says agency must submit staff reduction plans and notify employees targeting programs not legally required to continue. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has renewed Nigerians' call to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games, urging the global body to award the historic centenary edition to Africa for the first time, in a passionate appeal on his official platform. Tinubu said African time has come, stressing that awarding the Games to Nigeria will affirm the continent's place at the heart of the Commonwealth's future. Now, Wednesday, Nigeria presented its bid to the Commonwealth Games Federation in London, led by Shehu Diko and Bukola Olapade. The delegation highlighted sports excellency, cultural exchange, and youth empowerment as central to Nigerians' bid. The Nigerian team emphasized that hosting the Games would foster a lasting legacy for Africa. Last week, Abuja also hosted the Bid Evaluation Committee, where President Tinubu presented or represented by Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila assured the Commonwealth of Nigerians' readiness to deliver a world-class game. Nigeria, with Abuja as a preferred host city, faces competition from India, which has put forward Ahmedabad for the Games. Now, still talking sports, Brazil legend Ronaldo has urged national team coach Carlo Ancelotti to recall Neymar to the Silico squad for next year's FIFA World Cup in North America. The 33-year-old Neymar last played for Brazil in October of 2023 before suffering a serious crucial knee injury. He returned this year to boyhood club Santos after leaving Al Hilal, where he managed only 5 appearances and 1 goal. Now, since his comeback, Neymar has featured regularly for Santos, but Ancelotti has left him out of a 4th straight call-up, saying he must regain full fitness before returning to the national side. Ronaldo, Brazil all-time top scorer with 79 goals in 128 games, says there's no replacement for Neymar, creativity and match-winning quality. He believes Brazil's chance at the 2026 World Cup will be stronger if Neymar is included. Brazil, who last won the World Cup in 2002, are already through to the qualifiers, but the debate over Neymar's role continues, with Ronaldo leading the call for his return. Ronaldo, who twice lifted the trophy with Brazil, insists Neymar remains a decisive player despite injuries and a difficult spell in Saudi Arabia. He calls fans, or rather he said fans, want to see their talisman play in yellow and green. And that truly wraps up the news right here on Atlantic TV. But we advise you, if you have any news and you want us to reach out, it's better you reach us on our different social media platforms, and we're more than happy to have it. But for me, Michael Gobadia, God bless you. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
I am SP Dafe Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before, not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, by the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason, your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack, because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that, we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say a stitch in time save 9. It's very, very important. Make haste when the sun shines, not be to come. You don't have to start running and start saying, what do I do? What do I do? When you can prevent it. Let's not forget, prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Tikado! Tikado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Tikado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Tikado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at tikado.com.ng. Tikado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. Welcome to Friday edition of Trending. I am super excited. And you know, I am Mercy Irabo. I am never alone. In the studio, I have with me Michael Gubadia, and together we'll be talking about all the trending gist on the internet and of course, give our opinions about them. What's trending today? So imagine sending your child to school to learn, but instead of solving maths problems or reading, they're busy scooping water from a collapsed school roof. This is interesting, disturbing, and sad. So a video making rounds on the internet shows a pupil and even teachers being forced to scoop out water from a classroom, a time that they were supposed to be teaching. So this shows the hard and sad reality that government schools go through in the country. Without wasting time, let's see the footage.
Ẹ wò wá báyìí, ẹ wò gbogbo ilé wa báyìí, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti ṣí, gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá ló ṣí, ó ní, ẹ wò báyìí, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ṣí, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti ṣí, àrí kankan bá àrí bí tó fi.
This incident has raised serious concerns about public schools in the country and the hard maintenance. Like, this roof did not just collapse, like I'm sure it has given signs and all of that, but they kept on ignoring until this particular moment. So it shows how unconducive it is for students to learn. I don't see any students learning in this harsh condition. Mr. Michael, what's your take on this?
Well, anyway, it's a pure reflection of how things have really decayed, especially in Nigeria. And you just really be amazed that that school might even be on paper that it has been renovated most recently, and yet we find children scooping water away from the floor. See, if you know you're not going to fix it, why punish other people's children in letting them do the hard job? If they cannot do the easy work of fixing the school with their own money, then why put them in through the pain? I'm even not happy with the school authorities for even sending those children to do so. If you cannot put the classes in order, look for workmen that will come there and do the job rather than using children that are just so innocent in all of this. It's quite painful, and it goes to show our deep reflection of even what we discussed today on one of our programs, Dialogue, talking about corruption and how it has really infested deep in the fabric of our society. It's sad, and it's something that all of us need to condemn.
Talking about condemning, I don't know why it looks as if the government keeps on ignoring the public schools, the education sector. I don't know what they're doing, but I think this is high time we start calling on the government, especially Ekiti State government, because this happens in Ekiti State. So we have to start calling on the Ekiti State governor that he should do something about this whole issue. He needs to intervene now, because I don't know, I don't see any students studying in this environment. I do not see how it's possible for students, and to think that it's raining now, it's raining season. Even after scooping up that water, they might start teaching, and next thing it's downpour of rain again. So I don't see any students learning in this particular condition.
Well, that's why we are not surprised when, you know, these children go for international competitions and they do not excel. That's why we see most of these children they are not even able to even pass the requirements in even doing some major exams, because they spend almost more than half of their time dealing with issues that they would naturally not have been dealing with, and spend little or no time teaching. I've even seen in the past, when you go to some public schools, you see teachers handing out melon to children to break in the class. It's really annoying. And thinking of the 21st century, we're having a class like that in a state capital. There's every cause for the Commissioner of Education to be called to order in that very state. What are you doing? Why is that there? Why are the students not studying, but rather busy doing hard manual labor, which we know the school authorities will never pay for? It is something that has to be addressed, and addressed timely.
Well, education is supposed to be a ladder out of poverty, but with situations like this, it seems our children are being forced to climb a broken one. Well, that's the situation in Ekiti State. So we really hope that the Commissioner of Education in Ekiti State does something real quick about the situation, because we all know it's raining season and they cannot learn in such an environment. Well, away from Ekiti State, Afrobeat superstar Paul Okoye, also known as Rude Boy, is making headlines again, and this time around it's no music. So he has vowed to track down a lady who went online to make explosive claims about his past. The woman alleged that Rude Boy was involved with his domestic help. After the backlash, she deactivated her social media accounts. So this brings up a bigger conversation about social media call-outs and the damage they can cause. And knowing that this is a digital age, that just a single post spreads even faster than a hit record and can cause a damage to one's personality and reputation. So this is really, really sad, Mr. Michael. What's your take?
Well, yes, I'm really not happy. You know, so sometimes, yes, some of these celebs do have their own issues.
Yeah.
And they still have their own shortcomings. But, you know, when you cannot stick on what you said, you cannot come out to defend it, then what's the need putting out there in the first place? What's the need? You cannot just go around spreading false rumors, all in the bid to get more attention, all in the bid to get more likes, all in the bid to get more share, and you ruin somebody's hard-earned reputation. It is uncalled for. It is really painful. I would really understand the point Rude Boy is really pushing out. He's really angry, and he feels he will use her as a scapegoat to let others know that he's no he-goat. But the truth is, irrespective of that, he should also be cautious, because sometimes the hunter turns out to be the hunted, and it depends on how he goes about it. So he doesn't turn around, and rather than getting sympathy from ordinary Nigerians, he rather get a backlash. So he should do it with all sincerity, The anger he's expressing is quite understandable, but he should also do that with how we call him, softly, because if you too scratch body, you will get injury. So please, I'll advise Rude Boy, well, do it a bit of caution, but it is your right, it is your civic right to indeed call for libel, especially in all that she said are not true. You have every right to go for her.
So what I'm trying to ask now, is it right for celebrities to chase after all of these people that do this social media call-outs, that do all of these allegations and false claim? Is it right for them to do it directly, or rather just go through the legal way and all of that? Because Rude Boy was insisting that he would try everything possible until that girl disappears from the earth. Do you think using those words are actually right?
That's what I said initially, that he should remember that the hunter can now become the hunted. He should be cautious. I know he has anger, deep-rooted and bottled-up anger in him, but he should do it with a whole lot of sense. It is basically wrong saying you disappear somebody. On social media, come on. God forbid anything really happens to her, you'll be held accountable. And I'll tell you, Nigerians, trust us. Those that have said, oh, she's wrong to have done so, when it's her turn, the way they will come for you. You will not be Rude Boy, you'll be Gentle Boy. So please, I'll advise you, Gentle Boy, sorry, Rude Boy, do the needful. Don't end up losing your reputation on account of this. Then she'll be winning on two ways, two grounds.
Yeah, so I think social media, somehow, I think it has really caused more damage, like people say it. And I think that's one reason why the Nigerian government are trying to see how they can work on the whole social media usage and all of that. Because imagine just calling out somebody, because I feel if it's true, she wasn't supposed to deactivate her social media account. So the fact that she did that, that tells a lot about the whole issue. So it brings us about the constant call outs of celebrities on social media, and then people would ask them, you don't have to talk, you're a celebrity. Forgetting the fact that these people are humans. They have blood going through their vein. They feel every bit of everything they see on social media,
anxiety,
all the pain, they feel all of that. So I think Nigerians, or generally we as humans, we need to do the calms when it comes to social media. Before you say anything online, don't do it because you just want to trend. Make sure it is verified. Make sure you're saying the right thing, because I'm sure if Rude Boy uses this particular girl as a scapegoat, I'm sure the rest will learn. Talking about you will learn, social media activist Martins Vincent Ose, popularly known as a Very Dark Man or VDM, has called out his loyal supporters, known as the Rattels, that they should come out, they should start this movement of community service. That is, they shouldn't just be known for this whole online noise that people have tagged the Rattels to be. They should be known for a real social change. So let's see the footage of VDM talking to the Rattel.
To be Rattels, to presenting ourselves in real life and impacting, like direct impact in our society. Now, what are we going to be doing? Starting from the 29th, being the Saturday, last Saturday of November, moving on, every Saturday, every last Saturday of every month, we the Rattels are going to come out to do community service. We'll be jumping into every gutters, clearing the, what did they call them again? Clearing the sewage. The drainage. We are going to be clearing the drainage. Not just that, we'll go into public schools. We'll clean the public schools, all these places where they are like dirty, where they don't heap dirty for roadside. We'll go there, we'll clear it. In all 36 states, in Abuja, we'll do it in Gwarimpa, we'll do it in Maraba, we'll do it in Nyanya, we'll do.
He's urging them to step out, clean streets, repair community, and make visible impact in their neighborhood. So he's saying that they really need to step up as Rattel, that it shouldn't just be about online noise, but about real social change. I think this is a good one coming from Very Dark Man. What do you think?
Well, anyway, all I think is I'll give him a list of my own gutters. You know, we have many around my area. The Rattel president himself, Very Dark Man, with all due respect, I'll be sending you a list very soon, especially the one close to my neighbor's place. That woman, she puts a whole lot of... Okay, well, anyway, let me not drag anybody on social media, but I feel it's a good one. And,
yes,
let them walk the talk and stop making social media be where we know them and what they can do. But let them come out and see. That's more like starting a revolution.
Yes, it is.
On things that needs to be done. I feel the Gen Z generation should take the bull by the horn and see how they can change the narrative, especially as it concerns a whole lot of things. So it's not all about just sitting or being on social media. You call this out, call that out, oh, well done. Let's start seeing your physical presence on most of these things you want to be done. And I feel if that starts, then that people will now put words to action as it concerns social media. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one coming from Very Dark Man. And then he talked about Guarikpa. And I saw this video yesterday about Guarikpa. You needed to see how the road was blocked with refuse. People just go there, dump all of that on the main road. So he making emphasis on that just drew my attention to the fact that we talked about this, I think, yesterday, talking about the floods and all of that and how people just go there and dump their stuff. So it brings us to the big question of why do we keep our environment dirty? We can't keep calling out on the government every time when we as people, we have our own parts, we have our roles to play in all of this. So I feel the fact that we have humans that act as if they are not by just going there to dump. I feel the Ratel movement will really do a lot, especially in Abuja. That's Guarikpa that we actually saw that particular video. So this is a good one coming from a Very Dark Man. And I am happy, I am proud of him that he is taking this bold step, because they've already tagged the Ratel movement to just be about noisemakers and all of that. So I like the fact that he's coming out to say they are not noisemakers, they are revolutionists. That's a good one coming from Very Dark Man. So away from the Ratel movement, imagine paying nearly $300,000 for luxury and ending up with a fake wristwatch. Well, former Plateau State Governor Joshua Dariye has cried out after allegedly being scammed of $290,000. He claims two men named Emmanuel Odogu and Franklin Gideon, also known as Kelvin, sold him a counterfeit polo wristwatch. Dariye has now petitioned the police seeking justice over what he describes as a grand fraud. This case is raising eyebrows, not just because of the huge sum involved, but because of who the victim is, a former governor. Nigerians are buzzing with reactions. They're really buzzing with reactions, not because the amount is so huge, but coming from a former governor of Plateau State. Well, let's see some of the reactions. Connie man die, Connie man do waiting. I don't know. Can't criticize petition. Can't the citizen petition him for the diversion of the state's money? Another one saying this. People's money you steal from office, they stole it back from you. Interesting. And you're complaining. Okay, let's see if we have more. Imagine stealing billions from public funds only to get scammed for a fake 290,000 naira, $1 watch. A poetic justice thieves getting robbed by thieves. Interesting. Let's see if we have more reactions. God will bless Odogu and Kelvin for me. You steal our money and still get scammed by the real Odogu. Thank you, brother. May the Lord bless you. Please, we don't support crime here. So now he knows scamming is painful. Interesting. The one way they defraud people since uncle. Only this one when them do now, don't pay them. Interesting. A taste of their own medicine. Wow. Do we have more reactions? Yeah, we do. Even with this, you should be arrested, sir. How did you get $290,000 to buy a watch? How much is your salary even when you were governor? If the EFCC were doing the job right, this should not go unpunished. Wow. Just imagine the shamelessness to even come to say this, not in any way supporting scam, but will a governor buy over $290,000? Person they report waiting himself do government. He never reached waiting in park, Sha. Oh, okay. Those are really hilarious comments that we got from netizens.
We can go on and
like
today will never end.
Like the thing is, it is terrible that somebody is coming out to call out somebody, call out two criminals that scammed him of a counterfeit Apollo wristwatch. That is a designer luxury wristwatch. And instead of people calling out the criminals, they are calling out the victim. This is interesting. This is a twist. I don't know how to explain this, Mr.
Well, anyway,
Michael.
this is Nigeria.
Yeah, this is Nigeria.
So whether you like it or not, sometimes you might feel you are the hunter or you're being hunted, and at the end you'll just be turned around on your head, and then you'll be the one running away. But it goes to show $290,000. Come on. In this era that some persons do not even eat 2 square meal a day, in this era that even one pieces of egg is about 250, 300 naira, and somebody is just using a whole 290K. I would like to times that by naira to see how much the equivalent of naira.
Should I help you?
Yeah, please do. Then you're using that just to put on a wristwatch that you look time just similar to one I have here. That's already telling me the time. In a country that is going through a whole lot, in a state of yours that went through religious crisis on account of a whole lot, and many persons talked about bad leadership. It's really disheartening, and it's something that many Nigerians are not surprised that they are coming out to say. And in case you don't know, trust our mathematicians. That very money you are complaining of is 485 million naira for a wristwatch. Oh my
Just
God.
a single
That is
wristwatch.
close to $500 million naira for, wow, come on.
That is almost the amount that the federal government sends to the southeastern part and the northern part of Nigeria from the funds from World Bank. That was what it sent to kill hunger, to help curb hunger, and that is what one person is using to just purchase a wristwatch. The same wristwatch that won't tell you the future, just telling you about the time
the
at
present
the
time.
moment. This is interesting. Like, where on earth did he get this money? We talked about the EFCC of recent talking about how many persons are in their custody. And I said, the real criminals are still roaming the streets. Like, for somebody coming out to openly, like this is supposed to be a secret, not coming out openly to say, I actually purchased a watch of $290,000.
That's that very song. It is pain them, it is sweet me. So let's see.
Like, well, like if it's other countries, I'm not sure he would be bold enough to come out to tell you.
But also remember that he has
purchased
served his time also, and he was only recently given amnesty by the former late president Muhammad Buhari when he was released from jail on account of doing there for corruption that the EFCC instituted against him. Remember, himself and Jolly Yame of Taraba State were released not too long ago and given clemency or amnesty by no other person but former president. So I feel the best thing for him to do after that very bitter pill he swallowed for how many years being in jail or correctional facility, he should just pipe low and please do not remember or just try not to be in the news. Nigerians are not still happy. So please, sir, just be at one corner. Yes, you've lost the wristwatch. It is scam in every way. It is wrong. The needed authorities need to come in. But when it comes to public funds and we Nigerians are not happy about how corruption has bedeviled us, please, sir, all of these news should just go to the normal police, make your reports, and please don't put it on social media. We really appreciate that.
One reason he might really be pained is maybe he bought that as a welcome gift to himself. So imagine a welcome gift and then somebody else just took it. So that's really painful. I think that, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Take my 9,000, you know that is painful. Now talk less of 290.
Okay, so here's the big question for you watching. What do you think, who do you think should bear the bigger blame here? The fraudsters for pulling off the scam or the ex-governor for making such an extravagant purchase? Drop your comments in the comment section of all our social media platforms on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, time is not really on our side. Sadly, this is where we have to go today. It's been such an amazing time from Monday till now, Friday's edition of trending. I am super amazed by all of it, and I'm sure you enjoyed everything because I had fun throughout the week, Mr. Michael.
Well, anyway, it has been a roller coaster, if you allow me to say so. And all the way from Monday, we talked about the papers, we also did dialogue, different edition, and also trending always put a spice to it. And well,
can say that again.
Well, it's only right for us to say it's a wrap for the full week. But well, don't bother yourself. Enjoy your weekend and come back refreshed for Monday when we also come back and give you another refreshing edition of your morning tonic. And we're talking about Viewpoint.
Yes, talking about Viewpoints on Atlantic TV. Well, this is where I have to say, how will you be spending your weekend? It's weekend. Thank God it's Friday. You know I am always excited about Fridays. I am always super excited. So tell me, what will you be doing this Friday? If you want me to visit you, if you'll be making a jollof rice, yes, I love jollof rice. You can put that in the comment section of all our social media platforms. I'll be right there. So once again, I am Mercy Erabo. Do have a nice weekend.
And I'm Michael Gobadia. It's another time, or rather reason for us to say, God bless you, have a great weekend, and well, just be a great Nigerian, that's for sure. God bless you. We'll see you next week.